else? Okay.
Let's continue here on From the Press Box to Press Row. If you're watching this on Zoom, you see who our next guest is. If you're listening on radio, if you see who's on the screen, I don't really need to make the introduction. But for those that are listening on radio, she's an actress, CEO, entrepreneur, model. You remember her from such projects as Players Club, also Single Ladies, and so many others we can't. If I had to mention everything she's done, we'd run out of time for this interview. She's the one and only Lisa Raye. She joins us here on Boxtorow. Lisa Raye, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, because it's been a long time. It's been a while.
It has been. Wow. And, we were able to track you down. Know you've been super busy. Glad you're making some time for us once again on the program. I want to start here. How have you and your family been getting along amidst this COVID-19 pandemic?
You know what? I have had no problems up until maybe about 2 weeks ago, because my mother has been here since December. And so we've been quarantined together since, she was sick. So since February, we've been in. So we're looking at almost 5 months of being in. And I'm very optimistic. I'm a playful type of person. I'm a free spirit, so everything to me is a game. You know what I mean? I'll make cooking a game. I'll make babysitting and being a nanny a game. I'll make cleaning up with the mirrors 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm really that kind of person. But it's only so much you can do by just being in one space, and that's just your house. You know what I mean? And I've done picnics, we've went swimming, we've done playing ball and all these different things, but it's 4 generations here. It's my mother, myself, my daughter, and my grandbaby. So we have company. Of course, the baby brings joy to the house. But for the last 2 weeks, I've been having a little cabin fever. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get out. And so driving for me was like I was a tourist. I was driving like it was my first time, oh my, look at this business. It's not even here anymore. And this business, they must have looped over here because they're boarded up, and I don't know if they're ever going to be able to survive anymore. And oh, look at this restaurant. They're not supposed to be open, but oh, they're doing nails on the outside now. I tell you, it has been so much going on, even on the outside, to now I'm seeing that even taking a drive helps your mind and your mindset. Just something that small. Just taking a walk in your neighborhood. I have walked in my neighborhood now more than I ever have, and I've been in my house for 16 years. Wow. I know some neighbors that I didn't even know before. Where you live? I'm around here. You took me too. Hey, So I've been learning a lot about my house. I've been doing some house projects, refiling and organizing my files, finding different cracks from earthquakes on my ceiling and saying, hey, where the hell that come from? You know what I mean? Just been into me, my family, and into my house and home environment. So it's been absolutely wonderful.
yeah, no question. But now you've been doing some Instagram stuff though, right? I know that's in the house, but I'm just saying you've been doing that.
Yeah, I try to indulge and engage in social media. I don't really believe in airing out your dirty laundry on social media. If you got a beef with somebody, like I always say, come see me. Come see me. Because I'm a woman about mine. You know what I mean? We ain't got to go back and forth and hide between no gadgets and none of that. So I'm not really down for that. And I'm not down with the TMI either. You know what I mean? Too much information. Sometimes that needs to be between the 4 walls in which you live in. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm not down with that. So, which means I don't post a lot because I'm confused on what is interesting and what's not. I feel like, who cares if I go to the grocery store and buy apples opposed to oranges? But they like, what? What kind of apples did you buy? I'm like, the kind that everybody buy, I guess. You know what I mean? So I do fun things. I do things that's important and near and dear to my heart. And I'm just trying to, figure out my little niche of how to Instagram in this day and age.
Yeah. Well, I think 3.9 million people are interested though.
Yeah, but that's just on Facebook. All collectively together, I got 6 million folks interested in what Lisa Raye wants to do, and that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
When I tell you, that makes me humble because I'm like, wow, y'all care. And I will say this: anytime I need a boost or pick me up, I can read some of those comments, And it does just that. It picks me up. It lets me realize that there's a body of work that I have given to the public that they like and they have perceived to be, deems me to be a notable person, or at least someone that they like enough not to take so serious. And, in between the balance of the haters and the naysayers and the people that love you, it's like, hey, it's still life. So I try to jump on there every now and then to kind of keep me relevant. You know?
No question about. I mean, let me switch gears a little bit. I mean, I think we need to talk about this. I mean, you're from the Chi, from the Midwest. The situation with Jacob Blake. We saw George Floyd going back to towards the end of May, and now once again we're talking about the same scenario with the police and the brothers. Your thoughts on what you saw on that tape as it relates to Jacob Blake?
Okay, first of all, it's sad and it's unbelievable for us. And what I want to tell our public is that it's not all policemen. It's not. We cannot hold everybody accountable for individuals that want to have that chip on their shoulder and wear that badge and wear that gun, because in their life they weren't nothing. They want nothing, and now they put that badge on and they feel like superhero. And so right there's a disconnection with their mindset, and we need to give our people therapy because they need to know how to deal with us. We need to give them some type of training so they know how to deal with us. Because see, here's the thing: when he went to his car and he bent down in his car, it made people say, and it made me say too, well, wait a minute, what is he going to get? Okay. However, before he went around to his car, he did just that. It was for the policeman. He walked around. At what point do you say, I said stop, or hold it, or I'm going to drop you? Not with a gun, but drop you with, what about that chokehold y'all know about doing? What about the rubber bullets? What about that taser that y'all so much like using? What about using all four of them to bring him down then? Why did you wait until he got to the car, opened the door, went in to reach? What made you shoot 7 times? Not 1 time, 7 times. And then why didn't you shoot him in the shoulder, in the arm, in the leg? At that close range, that's going to stop anybody. What made you shoot this man 7 times and not even care that his 3 sons that's going to grow up to be men are looking at this? It's going to be a mind trip for them, and it's going to be traumatizing for those young boys, because not only are they looking at someone hurting their father, but they're looking at the people that's supposed to serve and protect us, which our tax dollars pay, and they're looking at him like, well, wait a minute, you're dangerous to us. So now I can't respect you because you have this uniform on, because I'm seeing something different. How do we teach our young men to respect them after what they are seeing? It's crazy. It's such a disconnect till it makes me feel like everything that we're doing now. And see, at first I wasn't down with the looting. I was like, no, people, don't do it. It's not, it's not worth it. But I'm going to tell you this. I understand it. I understand the looting only because we're scurrying to try to get the attention of the government. We're running loose and running out of ideas because we know petitioning does nothing. Damn near marching ain't really doing nothing, at least fast enough. We're now looking for what and how do we get satisfaction right here and right now? Because if we don't, y'all killing us one by one, state by state, every day. Yeah. Every day. It's scary for not just the young that's watching it. It's scary for me as a mother and as a grandmother, because I'm looking like, wait a minute, I don't even want a routine traffic stop. Now I'm running over myself trying to do good, and now I look nervous, and now you looking at me looking nervous, and you think I'm doing something, and now you got the gun on me, and I'm scared. I'm like, whoa. They're throwing out the wrong signals and the wrong messages. But we're also, as a people, as a race, as a community, and as Americans, are trying to figure out, where do we go from here? What do we do now? How do we let our voices be heard about this justice and injustice that we are having?
Yeah. No, very well said. I mean, speaking of voices, the NBA players made a stand. I think ultimately we understand now that they're going to play, but they did not, the Milwaukee Bucks more specifically, and then the players as a whole. Your thoughts on, I don't know, are you a big sports fan? Your thoughts on what the NBA players did?
I'm more with basketball sports, and I'm more for anyone that's going to leverage their voice and use their platform. So that for me spoke volume. Do I follow sports? No, not really, but because they got something to say now, and they can, and they're powerful. They're powerful because they are an entity. You know what I mean? Those folks, I'll say, want them to get back to business. Those folks want them to get back to making them money. Those folks want to put people people in the stands so we can forget about everything else that's going on, because they feel that this job of sportsmanship is much bigger and better. I commend those players that said, well, wait a minute, what we going back to work for? What we going back to play for? We got other things that we got to deal with here. Don't you want to worry about what's going on with our families over here that might enable me to go to work? Don't you want to care about those kind of things? Well, wait a minute. So I love that LeBron spoke up. I love that the Milwaukee Bucks took a stand. We have to collectively, we got to get the important people. And when I say the important people, I only say that meaning the people that have a platform and a voice that we are looking at as a whole, that has a powerful voice that others are listening to, called influencers. Those people, when they take a stand, we're able to listen and say, oh, if they are doing that, then okay, it's cool for me to get on the bandwagon, because we have to have some leaders out there. We got to have some people that are going to lead us, so then us as followers are going to be able to make that march and that protest and that message louder and bigger message. That's what we need. We need to collectively come together and collectively be unified, so we can show them that we're not alone, that we're not taking this anymore. It's too much.
Yeah. No, very well said. The one and only Lisa Raye joins us here on the program. So I got to ask you about Cocktails with Queens. Talk about that. I mean, you're doing, like, I see your Instagram posts. You got so much going on, but tell us a little bit about Cocktails with Queens.
Let me tell you, Cocktails with the Queens came across as a fluke. We were actually, all three of us ladies, Vivica Fox, Selena Johnson, and myself, Lisa Raye, was being interviewed at first. Once we got on, we never did interview. We just took over and just started time. And they looked up and that whole hour was gone. So when we got off the interview, they called back and was like, wait a minute, we never did get to talk about anything that you ladies are doing. You know, let's reschedule. And for me, I was like, well, I don't need to reschedule because I did it already. So I'm cool. You know, y'all can do it without me. I'm good, you know. And so they were like, actually, we'd like to see you all together again. And then, of course, I was like, you should need to be saying the right thing that's going to make me want to come on over there, because right now it sounds like a favor. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't need to do that either. So we got back together, and week after week, when I tell you we have so much fun, we have gelled together with our individual personalities that allow us to have the same message, which is we talk about things that are trending. We set our opinion upon those things, and we talk about it and discuss it amongst us. We are an older generation. We are middle-aged women, but yet we're still relevant enough for our opinions to matter. And sometimes they take what we say and run with it. Sometimes they'll add something to it. Sometimes they're shocked by the truth of it. That's normally my comments. You know what I mean? I stay in the shade room. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you know what I mean? But I think when you get older, you find a sense of empowerment, or at least I have, that has made me embrace my maturity in a way in which I am who I am. I have to offer what I have to offer. I say what I say because I mean what I mean when I say it. Is it taken out of content and sometimes I have to come back and do a little rebuttal or clean up? Absolutely. You know what I mean? I'm not above saying I'm sorry to someone, but we don't want to bring anybody down or be insensitive while we're doing Cocktails with the Queens. We love to uplift people. We make fun and jokes of everything that's going on. We talk about politics. We talk about things in a way that make people tune in and say, let me see what they're going to say today. And isn't that entertainment? That's what we do. You know what I mean? So we got a cute little show here, and cross your fingers. Once we get to this new normal of virtuality, who knows? We may be coming to you as a talk show.
Yeah, no, I mean, the real sort of started that way when you look at it, and now it's, I don't know how many, it's been on at least maybe 6 or 7 years. So
yeah,
definitely, I hope that are you all looking for like a syndicated deal?
I don't think that we were looking for anything, because like I said, this came up as a fluke, and then we just enjoy doing it because we get a chance to do it in our house. You know what I mean? So as you see right now, I got this little turban on. I'm about to work out as soon as I finish this. It's easy to be able to come and do this. Now, when you talking about a job, when you talking about I got to come into the studio and get hair and makeup and all that, how often is going to be my question. And then how much is the second question. So we'll just stay tuned. Yeah. But for right now, we enjoy doing it. And it's a breath of fresh air. I really look forward to doing Monday evenings. We come on Boxtorow, and it's 6 o'clock Eastern time. And 9 o'clock Eastern time and 6 o'clock Pacific time. So, that Monday for me, if nothing else, if I just been around the house looking crazy, or I haven't had any makeup on, or I got things to say, Monday nights is the time where I can just let it all out. You know what I mean? So I look forward to seeing the ladies and talking SHIT.
Gotcha. So, like I said, I see you on Instagram. What is it like being, you have a lot of fun with it. What is it like being a grandmother?
Oh, now that's my best job right there.
Yeah.
Being a grandmother, that baby right there replaced her mother. And I didn't even think she could. When I tell you, I thought that I could not love my daughter even more. But when I tell you this baby here, I don't even know where the love is being pulled from. Because even when she talks to me, it's like, yes, oh, absolutely, you can have that. What else do you want to do? It just makes me feel like Claire Huxtable. Oh, she does no wrong to me. But more importantly, she put fire under me. Because for a while, I was kind of like, do I still want to be in the business? I'm tired, and I'm getting older, and this whole runaround shit is just like, I don't know, So she made me realize that I'm working for legacy and for residual. She needs to know who I am and what I've done and my contribution, And more so, I want her to know and see what hard work looks like. But also a passion for what I do is fun. So I want to show her that, and I want her to live that in the house, So she is giving me that. She is the love of my life. Matter of fact, she's the reason why I got on TikTok. I never did a TikTok before. But I did Pretty V's TikTok. Go back in, V. Let's go back in, V. What I want to do, what I want to need, what I want to see, what I want to need right now. Hey, feel it, get like that. I'm wrong. And I was just like, what? And so she was like, can we do that? And I was like, absolutely. So she picked a costume, and she said, can we wear wigs? I said, absolutely. We real girly girls, right? So we put on our little swimsuits and get our little costume together. And she gives me every bit of, Gaga, I don't want to do it anymore. I said, girl, we doing this. We are doing this. So she said, well, only one time. And I knew that we had one take and one take only. But we did it, and we got over 3 million views on there. And I was like, oh, this TikTok might be where it's at. But then Trump said he may take it down. So I was like, I don't want to have nothing to do with Trump and his shenanigans and all of that. So I ain't going to get used to nothing that I may not have to get used to. Right. Whatever. You know what I mean? But it's fun. It's been fun.
Yeah, no question. I was watching Martin the other day. Love Martin comes to me. So you were in an episode of I think it was the Swingers episode of Martin.
Yep, that was one of my first things I did when I came to Hollywood. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. There was a casting agent that was like, hey, I can get you on a couple of shows and get you some work. And as a newcomer, I'm thinking, absolutely, Martin. I know about Martin. I can be on Martin. Let's do it. Did I really know I was going to be an extra amongst 30 other women? No, I didn't. You know what I mean? But it's proved to be good for me, because when I sat down and observed what goes on in a casting for extras, I actually got an opportunity to do just a little bit more than just play an extra role. I got a chance to ride the back of Tommy. And I got a little check, and I got a little experience and exposure, and it made me say, yeah, I don't have to do this anymore. I've done this, been here, done this. What else you got? And it made me build. You know what I mean? It showed me that this is what it is at this level. And it made me make a decision on, is this what you want to do? Is this what you came here to do, to be an extra? And it was not. But I got the experience, and it made me say, now I need to talk to somebody that's going to give me a 5 lines and under. because that was the next step. When you do 5 lines and under, then the next step is I need a role. I need a guest starring role. I need to be a series regular. You grow. And that's exactly what that experience did for me. So it was absolutely wonderful.
Which ultimately led to your role as Diamond in Players Club.
Well, I really did do a 5 line and under. It was on LL Cool J's show called In the House.
In the House, yeah.
That was my next thing. And I played the UPS girl, and then it was a reoccurring role. And I didn't know nothing about reoccurring. I was so green, so lit, and just so happy to be in LA to be doing anything. Till it was like, I got a reoccurring role? How I do that? You know what I mean? And so, but I was friends with LL, and he was like, you want to come back? I was like, yeah. So I came back, and it was after that I was doing video. You know, I did Tupac's very last video, Toss It Up. And that's where Ice Cube saw me. And the director was Lionel Martin. I'm going to never forget, because he was actually directing How to Be a Player. And I took an audition for that role because I wanted to have an audition for How to Be a Player, you know? And I did. I was like, I'm going to be very directable. I'm going to do exactly what he tells me to do, you know? And I got in that place to do that video for Tupac. And then he didn't like the young lady that was playing opposite him. And he was like, I want her. And it was like, me? Moi? Absolutely, you can have me. You know what I mean? And so I actually had two parts in that video, which showcased me more than the rest of the girls. And that's where the casting director, that's where Ice Cube saw me. And that's how I got my audition to move on. And so the rest was history. I got that audition for Players Club, and I was like, forget How to Be a Player, because now I got a movie that's all about my character. Yay.
But can you that, like, you know, I don't know, that was 90. I guess I was about 24 at the time, and you know, I saw it, but as I got older and maybe saw it, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I realized how powerful that film and role was. Can you sort of speak to that?
Absolutely, because here's the reason why I took that role. Well, besides, could have been any role. As a newcomer, I would have taken it anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it was a leading role in a film with Ice Cube, and then not to mention Jamie Foxx, and then Bernie Mac, rest in peace, which is my Chicago mate. He's from Chicago. Then Michael Clark Duncan was in it. Rest in peace. He's from Chicago. I knew those guys from Chicago. So when I read the script and understood the message, what I really loved about the movie is those one-liners that I always say, make the money. Don't let the money make you. Or what you gonna do? Make a career of it? You know, there's so many little sayings in there that's relevant today, because one thing, when people ask me, is it going to be a Players Club too? I say to them, didn't you watch the movie? Diana graduated. She's done with Players Club. Right. So the message was, yeah, this is an occupation. This is a job. Some people choose this to help them through school, to help them take care of their family, to help them raise their son. They do this. This is an option. But the other option is, get in and get out. Don't get stuck. Don't get caught up. That's what I loved about the movie. She made her money. She did what she had to do. She tried out a couple of things that wasn't really for her. She was a decent young lady. She did not get in there and let it turn her around. And she did what she had to do, and she left. You know, and I wanted my daughter, even as a young girl then, to know that some ladies do this. You know, now, would it be an occupation that I would have chose? No, not mine, because I had other options for me that I would have preferred to do, you know, but it's real. I believe that Players Club single-handedly bought back stripping, period. When I go to the strip club, I get all my dances free. They're like, they push the button like, Diamond is here. You know what I mean? It's like, yay. I have to say, girl, if you don't get your ass out my face, it was a movie. It was a movie, you know.
Oh my goodness.
I love the tricks that they do. Like the girls that do the pole work, honey, I'm all day making it rain with them. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. I love it. You know what I mean? It's a form of entertainment as well, you know?
Yeah. Last few thoughts. So Holiday Heartbreak, is that coming out? That's coming out soon, right?
I just did that. I just filmed that's a Christmas film that's playing. I'm playing opposite Michael Collier, comedian extraordinaire, an Earthquake. B. Simone, and a couple of other folks that's in there that I'm having a brain freeze. But I went up there to DC and I filmed it, and it's coming out for Christmas. And it too has a great little Christmas message about men that turn out or start out being dogs, or actually not being respectful to women and just using all these different women. And then you find that decent relationship, and now you want to say you're a changed man. But what happened to all the heartaches that you broke back in the day? Did you go back and ask for forgiveness? Did you ask for forgiveness? Like, what happens, especially because in the movie, he has a daughter. So I put this, I don't really want to give it away, but I put this curse on him. That when you have a daughter, she's going to grow up and be involved in an arrogant asshole just like you, and he's going to break her heart just like you broke my heart. So to unbreak the spell, he has to go back to every woman that he's hurt and ask for forgiveness. I thought that was such a cute message in the holiday film. So I took that role, and it's a character role for me as well. You know, I'm finally able to play character roles and not just the girl next door, the sexy mom or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm actually being able to play opposite a librarian or an attorney or something like that, which just gives me more depth, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that seems like that's been, I mean, it seemed like that's something that probably should have happened for you long time. You've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, you know, but I think that people want to see the Lisa Raye that is the sex symbol still, you know, because I still look good, you know, for my age.
Yes,
you know, so they're like, hey, we don't want to see her with gray hair or in baggy clothes. Let us show it, you know what I mean? Still. And I'm, you know, for a while it was like, absolutely, shoot, I still got it, let me flaunt it, you know. But now it's like, you know, and to be quite honest, I'm not one of those kind of actresses that rise to the occasion of, I have to, you know, if I'm not working, I'm lost. When I'm working and as I work, I'm honored to be able to still be in the game, but it doesn't run me. I have businesses that I'm launching. I have a furniture and a mattress line that's called LR Home Styles that's coming out soon. I do vision board workshops called Life Rocks. I do that as well. I have a jean line that's coming out, PZI jeans, that's coming out for the holiday. So that's my residual money. That's my legacy money. That's the money that I'm passing down to my daughter so she can run that company. So when I am not here any longer, they can still lead the same lifestyle as they're used to. You know, that's what I'm doing now. I stay doing what I'm doing as an actress because I love it. And it's also fun for me. I get a chance to play pretend, you know, all the time. It's fun. You know, it keeps the brand alive. But does it run me, rule me? No, it does not. My family does.
Wow. Well, Lisa Raye, we really appreciate the time. You've always made time for us here on the program. Your candor, I mean, you're always candid. Speak your mind. Don't hold back. We love that about you. Continued success in all you do.
I appreciate that. I receive that. I take that. You be safe, be careful. In our world, listen to us. We cannot stop. We have to keep protesting. We got to keep protecting ourselves because we see that they are not. Please, please get out and vote. It's important. Your vote is important. We need it. Make sure that you know that they're going to play all kinds of shenanigans for us not to be able to vote. Take your lawn chair, stand in line, sit down and take your newspaper with you and read and play social media, whatever you need to do. But be prepared to wait in line. Be prepared for those mail-in ballots not to doggone work because they taking up the mailboxes even now. You know what I mean? That day in which we got to vote, let's do nothing else but know that that day is set for us to change America so it can be great again.
Absolutely. November 3rd, everybody get out and vote as Lisa Raye joins us here on From the Press Box to Press Row. Really appreciate the time, Lisa Raye.
I love you guys. Thank you so very much.